Have you ever really stopped to think about what a family is? I mean, beyond just being a group of relatives, what if it's something more? Like, what if it's a laboratory, or a tiny nation, or even a cooperative business? Today, we're going to dive into a really profound philosophy that sees the family not just as a home, but as the absolute bedrock for building a better world. This quote right here, it just perfectly sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. The idea is that everything we learn about how to deal with the world, how to be part of something bigger than ourselves, it all starts right here, in the family. It's so much more than just biology. It's literally where we learn the art of living. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this whole idea in 6 parts. We'll start with the family's basic role, then get into 3 really cool metaphors for how it can work, and then we'll scale it all the way up to a global vision and wrap up with a sage's final message. Okay, so first things first, let's nail down this foundational idea. The family is that essential bridge, right? It connects our own private life to the big, wide world of society. It's our very first community. It's the place where me starts to become we. All right, now for our first big metaphor, and this one's a game changer. I want you to think of your home not just as a place you eat and sleep, but as a kind of training ground, a workshop for your soul. Let's explore this idea of the family as a laboratory for life. So this concept comes to us from the Indian philosopher Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya. And his whole idea was that the family is this hands-on place where we don't just read about virtues in a book. Nope, we actually get to practice them, mess up, try again, and get better every single day. So what are we practicing in this lab? Well, it boils down to 3 huge skills. First, cooperation, learning how to work together for a common goal. Second, tolerance, developing that patience and understanding for people who are different from us. And third, systematic management, just learning how to organize our time, our money, our responsibilities. These aren't just family skills, right? They're life skills. And that idea of management and organization, it leads us perfectly into our next metaphor, which really takes things up a notch. If the family is a lab for personal skills, well, you can also see it as a mini nation that needs some good, solid governance. So what does that even mean? It means you start looking at your family like it's its own little country. Think about it. A country needs a smart economic policy, a clear vision, and discipline to keep from falling apart. This philosophy says the exact same thing is true for a family. And this is where the whole thing gets super practical. A nation's big economic policy, that's just like your family's financial discipline. A country trying to avoid massive national debt, well, that's a family working hard to stay personally debt-free. And a nation pushing for GDP growth, that's the family pulling together to create its own prosperity. It's a really powerful way to think about your household finances, isn't it? So at the end of the day, just like a well-run country, a family that's going to thrive needs a plan. It means having discipline with money, making it a priority to stay out of debt, and making sure everyone is on the same team, working towards a prosperous future together. Okay, so we've had the laboratory and the mini-nation. Now we get to our third model, the family as a cooperative enterprise. This one really zeroes in on that collaborative spirit, the idea that you're all on this journey together. In this model, the home isn't run by just one person. It's more like a joint venture or a co-op. Every single member is a stakeholder. Everyone contributes what they can, and everyone shares in the results, the good stuff and the tough stuff. And what that really means is that nobody has to carry the weight alone. The joys are bigger because everyone celebrates together. The sorrows are a little lighter because the burden is shared. And all the responsibilities, they become manageable because everyone pitches in. This is how you build that incredible sense of unity. So this brings us to a really fascinating question. We've seen how these ideas can totally shape one family. But what happens if we take this thinking and just blow it up to a much, much bigger scale? And this is where the philosophy makes its biggest and most profound leap, all the way from one house to the entire planet. The ultimate goal here is to start seeing the whole world as one giant family. This whole idea is captured in an ancient Sanskrit phrase, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It simply means the whole world is one family. It's a call to just expand our circle of who we care about, to push it beyond our own front door until it includes everyone. And this leads to the ultimate point of this whole philosophy. Our collective survival, our security as a species, it all comes down to whether we can live in harmony and cooperate with each other. And where do we first learn those skills? You guessed it, back in that family laboratory.
Okay, let's bring all these incredible ideas together with one last powerful message from the sage who gave us this wisdom. This really sums up why getting the family right is just so important. And there it is, the core idea. All social progress, all our hopes for a better society, a more peaceful world, it all rests on the foundation of a well-organized family. Change doesn't start from the top down, it starts from the bottom up. And this is the message of the sage Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya, who's also known as the Yuga Rishi.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that real, lasting change doesn't start in government buildings or at big global summits. It starts at your dinner table. The path to a better world truly begins inside your home. The ultimate challenge, and maybe the greatest opportunity we all have, is to turn our own home into a little piece of heaven on earth.